think I'm having a heart attack.
November 29, 2000. Hector Lugo not only had a heart attack, he died.
You were just a couple of minutes away from us pronouncing you dead. You were dead for well over 12 minutes.
In that 12 minutes, Hector witnessed something otherworldly. Hector says he saw a tunnel, then light, then brilliant colors.
It was a vertical river of white, horizontal, gold, going across, and there was domes on the other side, like 3 gold domes.
And he heard sounds he had never heard before, the sounds of heaven. He spent months recreating those sounds on his guitar. Stories like these are what Dr. John Hagen spent years studying.
These are common. This is a medical syndrome. Doctors need to know about this.
Dr. Hagen researched and wrote the only medical textbook for physicians about the science of near-death experiences, or NDEs. He discovered about 20% of people who have clinically died and been resuscitated have NDEs. But doctors rarely discuss those experiences with the patients. It's a practice Dr. Hagen is trying to change by giving physicians a guide on how to talk to their patients about NDEs.
Was there anything unusual that happened that you'd like to talk about it? That's simple.
He says telling patients who've had an NDE that they imagined it or shouldn't discuss it could cause long-term harm, especially to children.
In children, if you negate their experience, tell them they imagined it, don't talk about it, it's been pretty well documented. They fall behind their peers.
While doctors can't fully explain what happens during these experiences,
the science of it, we really can't explain. And you know, the essence of science is to be able to reproduce something, and we're never going to be able to do this in a scientific manner.
Or why more people who have had NDEs don't suffer long-term physical damage.
Surprisingly, they should come back with enormous deficits in a vegetative state. Many of them come back with enhanced intellectual facilities.
Scientists have discovered patients who have had these experiences share similar stories.
Goes to a heavenly place, they meet with a deity, they feel a sense of peace, love that is supernatural in content.
That's how Independence native Dr. Jean Househair recalls her near-death experience.
There was a very brilliant, beautiful, colorful light.
Dr. Jean, now an ophthalmologist in Oklahoma, died when she was a 20-year-old medical student at UMKC after she received a lethal dose of medication.
Next thing I know, I'm suddenly suspended about 30 feet above what appeared to be a very young, slender brunette body lying on the floor.
She looked down and saw her body, then looked up and saw a light. Dr. Jean went to the light.
It was a place of familiarity and comfort.
Almost instantly, she was given the choice to stay or to go, and she was told if she went back to Earth, she'd be healed, and she'd be a doctor.
I was given to feel the anguish of my parents should I choose to stay, so that I would understand, because I was only 20. I knew I would return to this place at some point, and I knew that life is a gift and that I really needed to complete my time in life.
Dr. Jean returned, and now more than 40 years later, she vividly remembers every detail. That memory, that experience changed the way she approaches death as a physician.
We just need to validate these patients, you know, as this happens.
And doctors and scientists, she says, need to continue to study these experiences and the impact they have on patients' lives.
The science behind it is important, because if you have one of these, I think for a while you could feel confused if you were a person that had this happen and you didn't have anyone to talk to. My hope is that it's a message of hope for people, because that's really, I think, why this happens, and that we should talk about it.
Talking about the amazing experience he had is something Hector Lugo says is now part of his life's purpose.
I've been passing it on as much as I can.
Because he says he wants people to know what comes next is something to look forward to.
I do not fear what comes afterwards, no.